Oh, what a nice script.
All right, so there we go. Okay. All right, so this class is called Overcome or Be Positive, Stay Positive. It's a positive reinforcement class. Each week I'll have a different topic that we'll focus on that's focused around trying to transform your thinking and your mentality, but using your own tools. So this week is going to be the basic, just positive thinking. Just kind of a little bit of a information about me and why we're here and why I'm here. So I've taught this class before, but like 4 or 5 years ago. But I have a history of domestic violence as the victim of domestic violence, sexual assault, mental health, chronic illness, and now I'm a family law and criminal defense attorney. Ooh. So a lot of the things that I'm teaching you today are things that I have developed over the years and that I actually work with my own clients to help with. And it's really the only person you can really rely on is yourself. And it's the tools that I'm trying to give you to do it. If you decide you could do whatever you want with it, if you want to use them, it's there. So, but that's where I'm coming from. This is why I'm teaching it. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a psychologist. These are just things that I have built and been working on and developed over the years. I've taught my domestic violence, my victims for my DV classes, for my divorce clients. I have, during COVID, I actually took this class that I started when I taught here in 2016. Wow. And started converting it into a book. And then I got lazy after 150 pages. So I kind of put this all together. If you guys just joined us, if you want to grab a note card and the quote sheet and a pencil, that would be great so that you can participate fully in all this. So what we're going to do, like I mentioned, I'm going to each week teach you different things to help you stay positive and move forward and hopefully bring better energy into your life as we go forward.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Without the glasses, I'm like,
I know. I just got my glasses like a week ago, so it's new to me. All right. So first of all, I just want everybody to start off the morning just to say hello to everybody next to you. Give your next person next to you a compliment. Start off positive, and you know. So this class is going to involve engagement, but everything that you're going to write on that note card or anything you write is for yourself only. No one's going to see it. I'm not going to ask you to talk about it. If you want to talk about it, that in the past people have wanted to talk about it, that's fine. But this is really for you to delve deep into yourself. It's for yourself. It's only for you. It's for your eyes only. Okay. So but everything that we're doing it's going to be interactive for a lot of it, but it's all going to be informative too. So starting off, I'm going to do what's called the breath of life. So typically I would do the whole thing, but I don't know how long the time span I have if I'm going to make a full hour. But the breath of life it's a form of positive affirmation and meditation. Okay, so the breath of life is a practice that takes positive affirmation and meditation and it combines together. We gotta wait. It's gonna have to require silence. So this is what the breath of life is. So I'm going to have you close your eyes. You're going to state a positive affirmation that I'm going to give you that's going to be tailored. You're going to state it 3 times. Once you're closing your eyes and you state the positive affirmation, I want you to visualize where you're feeling it in your body. If you're feeling it in your chest, your stomach, outside of you, in your head, in your heart, where do you feel it when you state that positive affirmation? Then I'm going to have you breathe in for 7 seconds. You're then going to hold your breath for 4 seconds. Then you're going to release your breath and that positive affirmation right into your heart. So you're just going to let it all in and let it sink into your heart. Then we're going to repeat this 4 times. Then we'll have another positive affirmation and do it again. Well, for now, we're just going to do it twice. We'll only do 2. I don't know how long the course is going to go before I know like how many we can go do it. So the positive affirmations I have right now is I love myself. I deserve to experience joy and laughter every day. Every day I am growing stronger. I am strong and courageous. So we're just going to start with I love myself and every day I'm growing stronger. Okay? Yes. Yes. I'm going to have everybody speak out loud, but it's for yourself. So we're going to have everybody say the affirmation and close your eyes. You're going to say the affirmation and then I will talk you through it as we go through it. Okay? So if I can have everybody close their eyes. Let me just make sure everybody else is coming. Okay, everybody can close their eyes. If everybody can repeat after me, and remember, see where you're feeling this. Say, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. All right, now everybody breathe in for 7 seconds. And hold. Now breathe deep into your heart. All right, now breathe in. And hold. And breathe deep into your heart. Breathe in. And hold. And breathe deep into your heart. Last one. Breathe in. And hold. And breathe deep into your heart. Now repeat after me. I love myself. Now, where did you guys feel it? Did you feel it into your heart? Is it closer to your heart? And if you were doing this on your own, you would again, do it again until it's actually sitting in your heart. So let's do every day I'm growing. Let's do every day I'm growing stronger. So everybody close their eyes. And repeat after me. Every day I'm growing stronger. Every day I'm growing stronger. Last time. Every day I'm growing stronger. Now remember where you're feeling that. And breathe in. And hold. And release that breath into your heart. Breathe in. And hold. And again, release that breath into your heart. Breathe in. And hold. And release that breath into your heart. Last time. Breathe in. And hold. and release that breath into your heart. Now repeat after me. Every day I'm growing stronger. And hopefully you guys felt that move closer to your heart. Now, hopefully next time we can do all 4 of them, but I gotta time manage, but I want you guys to learn this and practice it. I usually do 4. I tried to, I'll do 2 to 4. I have ADHD, so sometimes I don't make it all the way to the 4th one. So, but at least even if you get 1 or 2 out the way, it calms you down. It brings you present to where you need to be. So what I'd like to do is just start off with a little sound things to kind of get you going. Any soundtrack that kind of fits the positive thinking. I'm hoping this is loud.
Go through life holding on to things that are weighing us down. Guilt, resentment, doubt, worry. The problem is when we allow these things in, they're taking up space for the good things that should be there. Imagine your life is like a container. You were created to be filled with joy, peace, confidence, creativity. But if you allow worry in, it pushes out the peace. There's not space for both. You can't go above 100%. You have a limited amount of room. If you allow guilt to take up space, that's space that you don't have for the confidence you need. The reason some people don't enjoy their lives is because they're contained. Their heart is contaminated with so many things. They have 10% worry, stressed out over their job, 12% bitterness, mad at their neighbor, 20% guilt, beating themselves up for past mistakes, 9% jealousy, their co-workers were beautiful. They don't realize 70% of their containment is negative. They wonder why they don't have joy, creativity, passion. They only have room for 30% of what they should have.
So right now you are not living your dreams of vision with this stuff. I'm not seeing the differences between where you are and where you want to be. Conscious change. Words that are actually to match your brain is vision. Before we question mental and physical. Monitoring of your every thought, word, and deed will involve continued choice making. The whole process is a measure of consciousness. What you will find out if you undertake this challenge is that you spend half your life unconscious. That is to say, unaware on a conscious level of what you are choosing in your thoughts, words, and deeds until you experience the aftermath of them. Then when you experience these results, you deny that your thoughts, words, and deeds had anything to do with them. This is a call to stop such unconscious living. It is a challenge to which your soul has called you from the beginning of time.
Give no place to guilt. Give no place to worry. Give no place to bitterness. It can't come in, automatically take over. You control what's in your container. You control what you think about, what you choose to allow in. And we all have negative emotions, negative feelings. You have to make the choice. I'm not going to give this jealousy, this bitterness, this anger, valuable space and let it poison my life. I'm going to protect what I allow in me. Every morning when we wake up, we need to empty out anything negative from the day before. Somebody offended you at work. They didn't treat you right. It's easy to let that offense step. It feels good to carry around a grudge, but you have to be disciplined. Say, no, I am not giving this offense any room. I am not going to let it sour my day. They hurt you once. Don't let them continue to hurt you by holding on to the offense. Being offended is not harming them. It's harming you. It's taking up space you need for the good things that move you towards your destiny. When you wake up in the morning and thoughts of worry come, how are you going to pay your bills? What if the medical report's not good? You'll never get out of this problem. Don't allow that in.
You put your life to take off. You never once to imagine it the way you want it to be. And move into that. Check every thought, word, and action that does not fall into harmony with that. Move away from those. When you have a thought that is not in alignment with your higher vision, change to a new thought then and there. When you say a thing that is out of alignment with your grandest idea, make a note not to say something like that again. When you do a thing that is misaligned with your best intention, decide to make that the last time.
Morning, empty out the guilt, empty out the word, empty out the destruction. And when the impurities come, when the infection comes, don't let it stay. Let it pass on through. Keep your heart pure. If you do this, I believe and declare you're going to step up to a new level with more joy, more peace, more favor, healing, wholeness, the fullness of your destiny.
Okay, so that is more we're going to be focusing on today is your thought process and really what your brain capacity and what you put into your mind and what actually happens when things are put into your mind. So every week you're going to have a list of stuff. I'll provide them for you. I hope by the next class I'll have journals for you guys to have just for regarding this class. So let's just talk about your mind. So one thing I want to say again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not, a scientist. This is just stuff that I have studied and practiced over the years. Our mental thoughts are probably the only one true freedom we have in this world that we can actually control. There was a saying that said, a man can be physically trapped in prison in absolute inhumane conditions and yet still be free of his own mind, by Nelson Mandela. So the basis of this class is to teach you about Sigmund Freud's idea of your three mental states: your conscious mind, your preconscious or subconscious, and your unconscious mind. I will go into detail about these, but what we're going to focus on in this class is your subconscious mind. That is really what we're going to try to is really to rewrite your subconscious. So what is your conscious mind? It is your objective thinking. It has no memory. It's your present thinking at that time. It's influenced through your current senses, your current awareness of what's going on. Just as if you were sniffing a flower and you had the aroma, that's your conscious mind at that very moment. It really only takes up 10% of your brain capacity. So the question is the conscious mind who you are? That is a question that people tend to ask, but it's not who you are, and it's not where things take place. It's really what you're doing at that current moment, what's happening at that current moment. It's your outer layer of your life. So we tend to call this your awake state of mind. So your cognitive thinking, your rational thinking, and just current observations. Now we jump to the other spectrum, which is your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is a deeply rooted thought. That's literally your underground layer of thinking. It's where, if you think about your childhood traumas or what you had in 5th grade for lunch, something that's so deep ingrained in your mind that you're not easily able to pull it out, or you don't want to. It's really your storage place. So then here we come to our subconscious. Like I said, this is the most powerful part of your mental thinking. So the best example I can give of a subconscious, especially in domestic violence situations, is think of it as you're entering in a relationship and you're happy, you're positive, you love yourself, everything's going great. You're with somebody who constantly tells you you're a piece of shit, who's controlling where you're going, but and telling you all these things that you're just saying, I'm not hearing this. I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring it. Here's the problem. Your subconscious is objective. It doesn't care if you're ignoring it. It says, I hear the repetition, so it's important. So because it's saying it's important, I have to keep it. And then it stores it and it ingrains it into your brain, even though you think you're not listening. Your subconscious is taking it in. And the next thing you know, your subconscious is engaging. So when you're getting in that highly emotional situation, you find yourself emotionally entangled. All of a sudden, you don't want to leave. You're scared of things. You're not happy with yourself. But when you're present, you don't feel that way. But something happened, then all of a sudden, all your emotions ingrained, all of a sudden these negative thoughts are coming in and they're pouring in. And you're like, how did I get here? Well, it's because somebody else rewrote your subconscious. Even though you thought you weren't listening, your subconscious stored the information because it thought it was important, because it was repeating the behavior. It's like a recorder, and it really doesn't give a shit. So if you allow, and as I'm going to teach you, if you allow any type of repetition in your life, your subconscious is going to keep it and memorize it. And it's going to use it when you are not in your conscious state, when you're not at your awake state of mind, when you're not fully present. Your subconscious is going to act. So like I said, this is the fundamental part of this course. We are going to work on rewriting your subconscious. It is a lot easier for somebody else to rewrite your subconscious. You will start figuring out where you want to keep away from people because you're realizing that they're putting things in your brain you don't want. I'm gonna have to kind of bounce yours pretty fast though. So like I was talking about with your subconscious, you're not fully aware of what's going on. It's a subconscious, it's a memory bank, it's a master programmer. It is the information that is being retrieved to go to your conscious mind. It is literally how you respond, your self-concept, and it's your automatic action that you do on your day-to-day functions. What's already ingrained in you that you don't have to think about, that you just are doing constantly. Breathing. And I'll show you one, like we'll go in driving. You'll drive somewhere, you don't realize, like you end up somewhere. They're like, how did I even get here? I didn't remember driving here. Your subconscious was driving for you because the pattern and the repetition of that. It comes out with your fight or a lot of times in this domestic violence situation, your subconscious triggers high in fight or flight because you can't be present. You're emotionally entangled. So it comes and it automatically goes to your subconscious, though you know to be happy, or know you know to walk away, or though you know not to try to beat the shit out of that person. You may feel that, but your subconscious is like, fuck this shit. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is how it is. It's going to be. And you can't, it goes from 1 to 100 as fast as possible because that's your automatic. And until you fix your automatic, you can't do anything. And what's going to happen is it's a long ass process. So when you catch yourself changing your scenery, catch yourself walking away from a negative thought, or catch yourself, you have to reward yourself for those very small things because it takes those very teeny things to build in. It is much easier for somebody to constantly tell you something. It's harder for you to constantly tell yourself something positive. It is very, very, very hard to rewrite your subconscious. And it takes a lot of work and you have to reward yourself every time you do. So like I was mentioning before, an example is, in a relationship or someone that made you feel ugly or untrustworthy or whatever, you take that in, you keep it instead of walking away from hearing it. As we were talking about driving, same thing, that autopilot. So here we're talking about, so we have the conscious, the subconscious, and I was quick. So we've discussed all of them. So we're going to stick to the subconscious and the conscious mind because those two intertwine. After a while, the deep rooted stuff ends up becoming your unconscious, not like you're passed out unconscious, but it's somewhere, most of the time it's your traumatic stuff that you can't pull out, you can't remember. And all of a sudden, even if you're in therapy, then you're like, why did I need, how did I know this? Like, I never know this didn't happen. And all of a sudden it comes out. So I'm not going to go through all this part, but, so let's go into just the comparisons of the two. So it's the protective barrier living somewhere between the conscious mind and your subconscious mind. In the brain's function, it's to constantly evaluate perceptions that are projected in our direction, in thought, word, or action. As perceptions are aimed our way, the critical faculty will judge as it is a yes or no. So it's your decision how you're going to let these things come in and out. So that when we go into visualization, your conscious mind can't visualize, but your unconscious mind can. Because your conscious mind is right now. Your unconscious mind is everything else. Remember, if you saw that iceberg, your conscious mind is only this little tiny piece. It's your subconscious and your unconscious that literally take up most of your brain. So when we say while you're busy going to while we are busy going about our day-to-day, deeply engrossed in the conscious mind, the subconscious mind lies quietly beneath the surface in its little home. All right. I'm not going to go into talking to you guys about computers right now, because that's going to take a lot of time. But it is like a computer. The basics is that your conscious mind is the keyboard and the mouse. Your subconscious mind is the RAM, your programming, things like that. And then the hard drive, the actual hard drive of the computer is your unconscious mind. So your subconscious is taking things from the unconscious to the conscious mind and back and forth. So it's the kind of the quickest way of kind of explaining it.
So the conscious mind is a keyboard. And
So yeah, I'll put it back. So your conscious mind is the keyboard and the monitor. It's that right there, right now. You're clicking it as I'm clicking it. But as I'm clicking this, it's going through software. It's going through and it's being identified through codes and all these things and what's supposed to happen and how it's supposed to react and telling the computer what to do. And then you have the hard drive, which is that deep-rooted information that sits in the computer, that's stored, and that's your unconscious mind. It's kind of the best and kind of convoluted most explanation of how it works.
read-only memory.
Yeah. So the power of changing your subconscious. You can make the conscious decision to take a look at your deeply rooted beliefs and change them. This is how the conscious mind and the subconscious mind work together to create the life you want. All right. So the subconscious mind affects your belief, the message you tell yourself, what you see, how you see life, how you want to see life, how you create to see life. It is your behavior. I want you to, it affects your behavior and how you respond to things. You have the least control of this area. This is where you have to work very hard on. You have to make the choice to make this change. If you do not make this decision, it's not going to happen. You literally have to be proactive in this. Everything goes noticed in your subconscious. No matter what you think you're not seeing, your subconscious is taking it in. So be aware. Okay. So as I said, it holds the good, bad, and the ugly. It doesn't care. It doesn't decide what it wants. It doesn't want. It takes everything. Your subconscious is constantly growing. And once again, it's in your control, but you can fall what is called a loop of negativity. That your subconscious then rolls over the information and over. It's like a snowball, and it gets stuck, and it keeps playing over and over and over again until you're in another place that you don't realize you're at, because it's not conscious. You have to remind your conscious mind has to come back and bring back your subconscious. So the biggest thing is your subconscious can give you the power to heal. It can give you the power to create progress. It can give you hope. Like I mentioned before, these are the influences it has. So let's go into changing your sub. It's like I mentioned, it's not easy. It's a and you get stuck in a comfort zone. Your subconscious is literally an oversized comfort zone. It's created. It's very difficult to push out of. You have to force yourself out of the comfort zone. For every little thing. So every part of you that you're trying to change, every little thought about yourself. But here's the thing, don't take a bite at the whole apple. You just take it one by one, and you reward yourself one by one. And that is my goal, is to give you those little bites, those little things to work on, so that eventually you have what it takes to keep going. Because if you try to take it all, you're just going to give up. And you can't. And you're going to find yourself at a loss. You're going to find yourself back and feeling negative, and you're going to then go into that loop. So let's see. So how do we reprogram our subconscious? Obviously, it's not an overnight fix. We all have deeply rooted negative things that have happened in our life. And some of them we don't even know, or we're not even aware of yet. It's so far in our unconscious that it has developed habits, and literally it may have been like abuse as a child that's turned into running away from people. And it's rolled over into a whole bunch of things, but you're not understanding why you're putting two together. So what it is repetition, repetition, repetition. So the best ones are reading, visualization, physically handwriting, and speaking verbally. The hardest one is visualization. People have a hard time seeing themselves in a positive light because they don't know what it looks like, or they don't want to, or they're afraid. So it's very, very hard, but it's something that has to be challenged. We will do it in this class, so I can make you do it. But other than that, it's hard to do it on your own. Again, repetition and reading. That's why I handed out I give you guys these quotes that match, just to give you something to read, to kind of remind you. The reason I say handwriting, even if you're scribbling the words, the hand to mind is like writing ingrained into your brain. There is scientific proof that there's a difference between typing into a computer and physically writing. So even with me, when I go to court, I write everything down with my hand. But when I prepare for court, I don't type anything, because I don't need to look down after that. And a lot of times when I'm writing, my hand's like, that says like scribble. I was like, I know, I already know what I'm saying. I'm just writing it because my hand's moving with it as I'm saying it down. And then it gets ingrained into your brain that way. So as far as visualization goes, you need to try to feel the experience, genuinely try to believe that it's real, be specific. ingrain yourself with it, you cannot bring in the past. It's about the future. It's about seeing yourself in a positive light moving forward. So again, habits and repetitions are key. Huh?
Did you just say this word of the future?
Your visualization of the future, of you as a future.
I like to now visualize the present moment because in the future can make you
Anxious. But if you can't see yourself, okay, if you can't, you're right. Being present and visual and being in the moment is important. But if you can't see yourself happy, how are you going to be happy? So if you want to visualize yourself with a big smile on your face and joy, and you want to close your eyes and you want to feel that, how are you going to obtain it if you can't visualize it? If you want to, it's not hoping for like certain things, but it's really seeing yourself positively in a positive light, that in a state that you're not currently at. Does that make sense? It's not necessarily like a event, but it's more of a positive change. Okay. So, oh shoot, I gotta hurry. I'm trying to go to the next. So the biggest part is commitment and your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. It sucks. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. I was freaking out coming here. I had the jitters and I'm like, I have the jitters and I'm going and teaching a positive reinforcement class. How do I do that? You know, but I have it. And then I had to remind myself, and you bring yourself back. So I'm hoping they're going to let me go long. So really the topic, so other lessons, I'm not going to go too deep in the subconscious anymore because I taught you about the subconscious. We're going to focus on topics. So now our topic is positive thinking. So what's positive thinking? Approaching life's challenges with a positive attitude. So a positive attitude is a mental outlook of optimism and of expecting good things to happen. So obviously make the best of a bad situation. Don't put the past experience into your future. Move forward. Look forward with confidence. And look forward to exploration and knowledge and new things. So we go into negative thinking. A pattern of thinking negatively about yourself and your surroundings. So effects in this, so ultimately negative thinking affects everything. It's a fear of your future. It causes anxiety about the present, and it shames you about your past. It puts you in a horrible cycle. So when it comes to positive thinking, I think it's very common sense. Expand your life expectancy. The biggest thing ever that you'll really realize is that if you're anxious or you're negative or wherever you're feeling, have you ever feel the acidics in your stomach burning? It's like literally cutting open wounds in your body and then putting lemon on it. And that is what you're doing to your body. Imagine what it's doing, just negative things doing to your health on a daily basis. So then we go into pessimism versus optimism. You always want to be optimistic over pessimistic. So your subconscious plays an active role in your negative thoughts and impact on your brain. So negative thoughts narrow you, they limit you, and then it literally keeps you stuck in that repetition. It narrows your mind. And so when it comes to changing that, you're trying to open it. You're trying to open that area to have positivity and that growth. And it's almost like you're having if you're being suffocated and all of a sudden you can breathe. You want to try to have that breath, that open breath, of that excitement. All right. So there's an example that is used is that, all right, if you're being chased by a tiger. Oh, this is weird. If you're being chased by a tiger, the first thing you think about is fucking run. All you can think about is run, run, run. But maybe you can climb. Maybe you can duck over somewhere. But you're so hyper-focused is all you can think about is running straight and going. Your brain's not thinking about climbing up that tree, jumping over whatever, hiding behind a bush. It is literally thinking straight ahead because it's hyper-focused. Your subconscious is, that's how it's programmed to do. So I like this little video. What you need because you're allowed, you're opening yourself to new things and growth. So let's see, I want to get to the activity. Okay, so I'm going to go through these really quick. So steps to being positive. Meditation, key. If you can do it, hard, takes a lot of practice. Start with 1 or 2 minutes. Just try to make 1 or 2 and then add as you go. But make sure you clean out your mind. If you have to have music, do the music. If you have to be self-aware and just feel your hands, do whatever you can, but start small. Don't go big and slowly build up your time. I have like, one of my friends can do it as if for 30 minutes. Well, I can't sit in silence for 30 minutes. I can't. Breath of Life works better for me because it helps with my ADD and it makes me feel like I'm doing something. But like, I couldn't imagine just sitting there with nothing in my brain for 30 minutes. That's a little bit hard, but each person's different. Enjoy yourself. Play. Be a kid. It's okay. It's okay to be joyful. It's okay to bring things out of yourself. Surrounding yourself around positive people. Negative people are the most draining people around. You will start noticing that you don't want certain people around you anymore just because of how it's going to make you feel or what they're doing to your subconscious, what their complaining is doing as you're sitting away somewhere and you just hear the complaining, your subconscious is processing it. Try to keep yourself around positive people so that repetition is there. Focus. Sometimes you have to come back and focus and shift. So it's when it says shift, focus behind your eyes is really the whole point when you're coming about being present. Come back and being present is really what that is. I think it's common sense to be your best friend. If you can't be your best friend, then you're not gonna get anywhere. You got to learn to love yourself. No matter where you are, what you are, your journey, you can't be happy when you're this person. You have to be happy that you're the person trying to be that person. Because you might not want to be that person when you get there anyways, because you're going to learn. You're going to develop and the world is going to become bigger and bigger. So you may want to be that person, but as the doors are opening, you're like, shit. Honestly, I had my own law firm. Thought that's what I wanted to do. It was worse, had the worst business partner. I planned everything in my life, got sick as shit for 5 years, was in a walker. All of a sudden I look back, I'm like, I'm happier than I can ever be working for somebody. It's never what I thought I wanted, never what I want to plan. It's like, I like not working full time. But I had all these goals and plans and I was driving myself down there and I was like, I had to get there and I got there and I still was miserable. And I was sick and I was like, but I look at my journey and I was like, it got me to where I am now. So you got to be happy with the journey, not looking for the destination. Connecting to the earth is another being present. So sitting down, a lot of times you want to you meditate, you want to sit down, you want to be on the floor, you want to be as close to the ground as possible. Feeling the grass, whatever you can to be close to the earth. Yep. And then we go into visualizing positive scenarios. So, yes. And then, so turning off the negative external noise, that is the people around you, shut it off. And shutting it off is not saying I'm not listening. Shutting it off is walking away, putting in earplugs, getting away from the situation, doing the steps and habits to actually get away from it. And then we'll eventually get, so there's a repeat the mantra, nothing is permanent. We'll eventually do where you guys are going to create your own personal mantra to repeat to yourself. So let's see. Again, this goes back to being positive. So the reality check, this is coming back to being present. Stop yourself, look at your surroundings, reassess, take a breath, and come back. Use your conscious mind to take away what the subconscious is doing. Come to your present. So happiness versus success, which comes first? This is the whole chicken and the egg. Obviously, happiness comes first. Success doesn't create happiness. I am going to make you guys do a very difficult activity, but like I told you, this is for yourself only. I don't expect anybody to share, don't want anybody to share. I want you to actually take this time to figure out the things. So if you haven't gotten a note card and a pencil, please get one. You guys want one back there? I can grab a crate soon. All right, so we're going to do benefit finding. This is not going to be easy, okay? And I'm sorry to make you guys do this, but it's the whole point of class. Something easy. First, list 5 things that make your life enjoyable. All right, now I want you to briefly describe a traumatic event. It can be a most recent one that comes to mind, but I want you to briefly describe the traumatic event. However, which way you want to describe it, remember, this is for your eyes only. The more you do, better it helps you. All right. From that traumatic event, I want you to list 3 silver linings. So that can be, what has the experience taught you? How did it make you better? But 3 silver linings from that traumatic event. All right, so what I want you guys to do is later today, read that card 1 time and then rip it up. Okay? Read it 1 time, see the positive which you wrote, see the transition that you made, and rip it up. You move forward. Okay? You don't hold on to it. You just rip it up and let it go. You took the step. So because we're running short of time, I gave you guys the quotes. The quotes that I gave you, I hope that you keep them. I know, like when I taught the course before, some girls would keep them with them. They'd put them, by their bed, whatever. Each one's tailored to the topic. I just want to get to the very one thing that's important. I think the most important part of this course. We're going to do 1 minute of silence. During this 1 minute, I want you to close your eyes. You have 2 options. Hold on. Hold on. Which way am I going? All right, you're going to have 2 options. You are going to visualize yourself being positive, or you're going to visualize nothing at all, and you're going to empty your brain out completely. Okay, if you're not able to see yourself in a positive light, your other option is to just breathe and follow your breath and empty your mind out. But I hope that you could actually see yourself in a positive light. Take the information that you learned today and visualize yourself in a positive light. I don't know what's happening. It didn't go until a minute. Sorry about that. But hopefully you guys were able to close your eyes and visualize yourself in a more positive light as a start, just to see yourself. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to do it on your own, so I like to do it here so you can kind of see it, because you can see it, you can obtain it. And that's really the big thing. And if you visualize it, you can put it into your brain, you can put it into your subconscious, and it can sit there because it can be seen and done. So does anybody have any questions? Go ahead. Yes. Can't manifest something you can't see or know. You have to be able to see it and know it to be able to manifest it. Manifest something, or sometimes things will be created that you don't really realize, but it's created based off of your repetition and habit. Okay, so for your homework, I would list 5 positive affirmations for yourself for the purposes of doing the breath of life, and try to do the breath of life yourself. Does anybody have any other questions?
Oh, when are you going to do that?
Week after next, so I do it every other week. So I think next week is going to be choices. I think, I'm not sure. I forgot, but if there's nothing else, make sure you guys sign it. I don't, but I have my